That's still on this minute. Yeah, okay, let's go. Right. Okay, just to review and learn today, Bez Hashem, as we see this, Neiros Shabbos is an unusual mitzvah, unprecedented. First of all, the fact that it has three reasons, the Shalom Bayis, Kavod Shabbos, and Einik Shabbos, but more specifically, the fact that Mitzarecha, it's a chiyuv on every Anoshim, Vanoshim, even anybody Bar Mitzvah or Bas Mitzvah age. But yet we see, even though it seems to be a chayvas haguf on every person, but one person is moitzi all, and there's not even a mahadrin. So it's sort of a combination of a chayvas haguf and a neiros ubeisai. It's not shalichas, it's like erev tavshilin in one respect. It's an interesting blend, but at the end of the day, every person has to either light neiros or make sure that in the house there is neiros burning for the three reasons. It's even possible that a goy could light and the isha can make a bracha. Now, even though we don't rely on that as far as the bracha, but the fact is that it's also the taitzah of the mitzvah that's so important. Basically, a bacha in yeshiva or a camp or a girl in seminary, if they go home often, if they're not there for a long, if they're not in the yeshiva or dorm for a long stretch of time, they would be included in the halakha from the parents, because basically they're still part of the Bnei Habayis. If there's a long stretch, again in Eretz Yisrael for many months, or even Amaleki Yeshiva went away for many months, then could be he was mufka from the house, but generally a Yeshiva Bacha today, unless it's for a long stretch of time, is included in the halakha of his mother. But as we learned, besides the chayvas haguf, there's also a chayvas habayis, which means a person that has a bias that there's no neiros, and there's a problem of shalom bayis, kavod Shabbos or einik Shabbos, then there's a b'chiyuv to light. So even though in our homes there's lights and it's not dark, but something is missing with the fact there's no neiros. So typically in every yeshiva in a camp, someone lights. They have a mind not to be yaitzu with the mothers. Someone lights on behalf of the yeshiva, and therefore we have neiros burning b'shas tesuda, and it has the milas of what neiros is supposed to have. A person that lights in a yeshiva, any place, of course, should light in a safe place and do it right. Lighting in the dorm should not be done, because typically the yeshivas do not allow lighting in the dorm, but in the yeshiva dining room, the place to light, and a place where you could see it. A person wants to be even more sure, he could put on the lights and then light neiros, so this way it's going on both. But a camp is basically the same thing. You yaitze with the home, but the Rosh HaCamp, his Rebbetzin lights for the entire oilam, and you don't have to mishtat the pruta, because part of the room and board, part of the tuition money, a person's kaina a chelik, a kinyan mamani in the neiros. The yeshiva dira, which is part, they basically eat in the yeshiva, is like the yeshiva, even though it's a different building and it's included. If they want to light and it's safe, they can light with the bracha. If they have a mind not to be yaitzu, with the yeshiva. A bracha that goes for Shabbos to a different yeshiva is included in their hadlaka and his mother's hadlaka. If he eats out just for Leil Shabbos, according to the Rav and others, it's enough to be yaitzu with the Bal HaBayis, where he's eating, a Masifta Shabbos, even a Beis Medrash Shabbos, as long as they're the yaitzu with their mothers, or someone's lighting in the dining room of where they're spending Shabbos. A few brachim that take over an apartment might have a chiyuv because of the fact that there's no neiros in the house, and of course if it's safe, they should light there. Brachim that go for an off-roof to someone else's house, but they're eating by the Bal HaBayis, are yaitzu with the Bal HaBayis. If a bacha eats out just Leil Shabbos in Eretz Yisrael, he's probably still part of the yeshiva where he is. He's yaitzu with the yeshiva's hadlaka. If a chiyuv to light, you have to do it right. That you make the brach oivel asiyasam, and then you light at the makam achila. Unless, as we said, a kala wants to light in her own apartment, or people that are eating by children and going home, staying in their own home, could light in their house also. When there's a chiyuv to light, you have to have a kinyan in the neiros. It's lav dafka giving a pruta, as long as the balabas is maknit to you and the person was kainit, or the oireyach makes a kinyan on the neiros. Lav dafka has to have a kinyan of a pruta. You could have a few hundred barachim chipping in for one set of neiros. That's also enough. There has to be an halachadik a kinyan that really you're yotzim. A situation where you have to light, of course, it has to be safe, and it has to be dafka b'rishus, of course. a bacher that lights and forgot to light once, or even a man that forgot to light, there's no knas. Yom Kippur Neiros should be lit, I think, in the Beis Medrash. And we saw this interesting chiddush where a person is away from his home. If his wife lights and he's in a different time zone, for him it's either Friday or for him it's well into Shabbos. It's yitachin that he was yaitza, because the Neiros Shabbos covers even long distance. There's some that are machmir, depending on the situation.
Rabbi Yakov, please take part of the big mitzvah of helping out all the cholim. They should get healthy very fast, and that should be a shmir.